Okay, so I'm here installing a gauge cluster ready for when my turbo conversion begins. I've been collecting lots of parts, so while I haven't been uploading, I have been making big progress basically with regards to earning the money and buying the parts. So here's my gauge cluster. I've wired up a little loom here and I've got all the connections in the right places. Here is a boost line that I've drilled through to the dash, so the boost line will come out when it comes under here, just so that the boost gauge can get a reading. We've also got live, which will give power to the electronic oil gauge and power to the voltmeter, so we can get a reading. These are going to be soldered up to switched ignition because we don't want them on when the car's off. And these and the backing lights have also been connected up. So those green wires, they are for the backing lights to the gauges. If I show you here, I've used a multimeter and I've gone round testing all these pins on these connectors, looking for one that gives me 12 volts when the lights are switched on. So I found this one here. I've soldered a connection in that goes to the lights on there. So if I turn my headlights on with this switch, we'll see that the backing light will come on. Headlights on, so we've got backing lights. All I need to do now is just solder up some earths and the switched ignition feed for the voltmeter, and then I can put it all back together and show you it working. So this wire's been taped up. Obviously I've soldered underneath, but it's been taped up so it's nice and insulated, and the same on the other side here, soldered and insulated. So if I turn on the headlights, you can't really see it very well, but no, you can't see it, but you just have to trust me that they work. I might edit in a little clip of me this evening when it's a bit darker and it's easier to see. So all I got to do now is wire up these, the earth and the switch live. I'm just going to go off the head unit loom because it's, you know, it's right there, so why not? Okay, so I have soldered in the live and the earth onto the head unit wiring loom so that the voltmeter can get a reading. So if I turn on the ignition, hopefully we'll see it go up. Let's turn the lights on. There we are. You can kind of see them there, but in the night time, obviously they're much more visible. That's the ignition on. Off and on. So the voltmeter is working. All I have to do now is extend the signal wire, which will go to the engine bay. So I'm going to solder on a longer wire to there, and then I'm going to run that along with this boost gauge line to the engine bay so that they can be wired in. So here goes. So the ignition is on, voltmeter's working. Now if I ground out the signal wire that goes to the oil pressure gauge, where I've extended here, we'll be able to see if the connection works, because the sensor will think that I'm running maximum oil pressure, so I'll ground it out. On, off, on, off, on, off. So we know that that's working too. Now, just a case of tidying up all this mess, putting my dash back in, on my dash cluster, and routing this line and this wire to the engine bay. So the install's pretty much done as far as the interior is concerned. I got to fix this to the dash, but we can see the boost line there, the boost gauge line and the wires. The boost gauge pipe comes down here along with the red signal wire. And then I've removed the glove box door by removing the little white pins here that hold the hinges in. So you can just go behind and tap them out with a little screwdriver or something. Then they come from there, down the back, through the little gap, around there, and through a rubber grommet. I'll show you where the grommet comes out in the engine bay, but that is pretty much the only way you can easily run a wire or a pipe from the interior to the engine bay. It was a bit of a faff, but glad it's done now. So all I have to do now is just put the glove box back in and plug my head unit back in and tuck all the wires in there and then screw that down. But it's raining today and I don't have the necessary bits to fix that to the dash yet, so I'll probably make another video showing the finished thing. Thanks for watching, and as I said earlier, I've been really busy and I have been collecting parts, so hopefully now I'll get some more videos out. Cheers. So rain has stopped play today, but at least we've got as far as getting them through the engine bay.